Okay, hello, we must be live. If someone out there could put a little chat message to let me know we're live, that'd be great. This is episode 3 of our Sunday lockdowns. I've tried to sort of adapt a different format in this video. We've got a kind of a better camera going on here. Hopefully the mic setup's okay. Got the headphones on to sort of prevent any distortion and echoes. And you know what? These Sunday lockdown things are great. I never knew that I'd actually be doing live stream if you asked me about a couple of months ago. We can't get out and meet each other, but this is a great second best. So I want to try and do a few things differently this time. Something to try and spice things up before I introduce our guest is, let me get this ready over here. I want to try and introduce a bit of a quiz for you guys. So if someone could do me a quick favour and just chat. Oh, excellent. Thanks, Alex. At least I know this thing is live now. You are the first person to chat today, so thank you very much. Just try and spice things up a little bit. I'm going to do there we go. Today's anagram of the day. This is a 2-word anagram, okay? And I'm not going to basically tell you obviously what it is, but it's 2 words. It's an anagram. The first person to chat on the comment stream what that anagram is, what the word that's hidden in the anagram is, gets a big thumbs up from me. So that's the anagram of the day. And without further ado, I'm going to switch over to our guest for today and start with the first question. So here is our guest, and here is our first question. What's your name and where are you from?
Matt, my name's Tom Ingracia. That's a Sicilian last name. You know, that island off of the boot of Italy. So that's where my grandparents were from. But I live in the U.S. of A. And sorry for all of our crazy political stuff, but that's for a different video, right? But Tom Ingracia, USA. And then if you guys know anything about the United States, usually people know where Chicago is. You know, bang, 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 the Chicago stuff. So Chicago is pretty much in the middle of the country, and it's a little bit north. So if you look, LA is way on the west coast of the United States. New York City is way on the east coast. I'm about 100 miles north of Chicago, and Chicago is in like the middle of the country, a little bit north. So that's where I'm from. And then I live in a little town that's north of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And if you've ever heard of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we're famous for beer and unfortunately Fonzie.
Hey.
I know we've got a statue of Fonzie, but I'm just trying to bring you in to where I live. And then when you go to Milwaukee, I'm about 20 minutes north to a little town called Cedarburg, okay. and I call it historic Cedarburg because it's a really cute little town, so it's nice. So that's where I live.
Fantastic, thanks for that introduction. And
by the way, Max, I'm sorry, I forgot to show this.
Oh yes, very nice. We do like that. It does look like a 981 though.
I know it does. If I get some white out and draw a hump a little bit steeper, that probably would be a 987.
Excellent. Well, I think that leads us nicely on to our second question. So, what are you driving at the moment, Tom?
Right now, I'm driving here's what I'm driving. This is what I'm driving. It's a Porsche 987.2 base. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it, but you see where it says Cayman?
Oh, yeah.
And you see where there's like a little scratched part?
Yes.
That's because when my wife got this for me, it said Cayman S. And since I'm such an honest person, I just kind of scratched that out.
Wow. How do you fit into that car, by the way?
Well, this is just a 1/64th representation. 1/64. I guess I could go out and show you my car, but
I have a picture of it. Let's pull this up. Yeah. No expense has been spared, you guys. The money that was supposed to be spent on my sports exhaust, I've spent it on equipment to, upscale my camera and all this kind of software. So this on screen right now is Tom's car. I mean, I love the blue. I love the wheels. They're the same as mine. It's got to be said. Our cars are very similar cars.
What year is yours?
It's a 2009.
Oh that's great. Your car and my car are the same color, same year, same luxury beige, but you got you got the S version. I have the base version.
Yeah, I think in Cherry, they called it. I've got the marine blue leather inside.
Oh,
so I don't have the beige. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got the luxury beige.
Hey, we have a winner! We have a winner! So there we go. On the comment stream, we've just got Andy and I know him from Wales. He got the anagram. It was Boxer Engine. So there we go. There you go. He won. Well done. Well.
He wins sports exhaust. I can't believe you could afford to do that for your fans. That's amazing.
Well, you know what? I mean, so who knows when we're going to get out and about and be driving our cars? But the video quality. In fact, Andy is the guy that I was speaking to about video quality. He may feature on the channel one day. First thing he says is, "I need to get a better camera." We'll talk about cameras later on because I know you're quite interested in cameras. But essentially, yeah. I mean, that was your car. I kind of put a picture up there. I've actually got another picture of Kathy in the Cayman as well. So that's up on screen right now. That's your other half, I take it, Tom?
Yes, that's my beautiful, wonderful wife, Kathy. And whenever we go out and do errands, I always, if I can possibly bring out, and my car is called Bianca, that's her name. If we can bring out Bianca, I always try to bring her out. And so we went out, and then, do you guys have Costco by any chance?
Yes, we do. Yes.
So we live near a Costco, and we went to Costco, and we needed a new planter, and we bought that planter, and I'm thinking, I don't know about that with the Cayman. And so when we went out, I said, well, can you hold this? And so that's what she did for me. She's so dedicated. So
does she like driving the Cayman?
It's amazing. Not really.
Okay.
And we can talk about why later, that I'm thinking about upgrading, but it's a 6-speed like yours. And what was amazing is when I first got it, and it was a little bit of a contentious thing. She doesn't really love it, but she said, you know what, I need to know how to drive this in case of an emergency, if I have a heart attack or, who knows what. So I took her to a parking lot. She got in, started it. 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. Absolutely perfect stick driving. Better than me when I even popped the clutch today. It's so embarrassing, but sometimes I do that. But yeah, she did a great job. Yeah. But she has not driven it since.
Oh, okay. And how long ago was that?
About a year and a half. About a year and a half, yeah.
Well, it almost seems like about a year and a half since I've driven my Cayman because, it literally hasn't moved. I think I do is I kind of put it into neutral. I rolled it a little bit on the driveway so the tyres aren't sitting too much because we're not really supposed to be going out and about too much. So
Really? Now, last week, we're not supposed to either, but last weekend I just went out and did some spirited driving by myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know how could that hurt anybody.
Well, I think different regions are taking this in different ways. I've heard stories where the police will actually stop someone in a sports car. You can go shopping in a sports car, but generally, I think their logic is we're only supposed to go out for essential travel. So I didn't want to risk it anyway. So
yeah. Now I wear a mask. Are you guys wearing masks when you go out?
I don't have one. There's a big shortage of these at the moment.
Oh yeah. Well, my sister-in-law made one out of cloth. So it's like a jean material. And in fact, I was wearing it. I just went out and bought some trees. Boy, we're not talking about cars, are we? But anyway.
So let's focus. So we've got basically, we know what you're driving at the moment. It's the 987 Gen 2 base. And the question up here is, what were you driving before, Tom?
Well, I have this is my first secondary car. So usually I have a car, my wife has a car, and then that's it. So I drive a Mercedes E350. I still have it. I drive it for work. I love it. Absolutely love it. But it's a 2014. It's not like it's probably worth $15,000, but it's just I love the car. Just absolutely love it. But that's my work car.
Yeah.
So I've never had. This is my first sports car.
Yeah. Great cars, aren't they?
Wonderful. Oh, and by the way, when I was out there doing my spirited driving, and maybe someone can add to this, is that it took me about a year before I was confident enough to really push it to the limit. So I know when it loses grip, it usually oversteers pretty much. So most of the time when I'm really going aggressive, it'll oversteer. But today, it was the first time I felt understeer, which is a really kind of a weird feeling. It's different. So I don't know. I can't figure out what makes the Cayman oversteer compared to understeer. I
guess it's just steering input, tires, and I guess your speed. I mean, were you driving faster today than usual? Or?
When I drive my Cayman, I drive it like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't go too much over the speed limit. I just get there very quickly.
Yes.
Quickly and efficiently,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I understand. Well, that's kind of an interesting thing. So we've kind of nicely led on to the fourth question, and that was, how did you make your purchase decision? Because like you, I mean, this was my first Porsche. You've got your first Porsche. Were you basically looking at different? I mean, how did you lock down? You wanted the 987, and then the interior and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'll tell you a story. I'll try to. I guess we've got a little bit of time. We got some time, right?
We have time.
I think it must have been about, were the Caymans around, was it 2006 that they first came out?
Yes.
The Cayman?
Yeah.
It must have been maybe 2006, 2007. It was a long time ago. And I've got this photographic image of me driving on the freeway, and this Porsche, I didn't even know what it was. This Porsche Cayman came by, and I looked at it, and I thought to myself, that is the most gorgeous car I have ever seen. I was just like, oh my God, look at that. I was just absolutely in awe of how Porsche can shape metal, just the shape of it. And then it just went away. And I literally never thought about it again until about 2.5 years ago. And what it was I was talking to my friend, and he owns a lot of Jeeps and things. So he's got Jeeps. And for some reason, I don't know what it was, but we just got into this conversation, and it somehow happened about sports cars, and that, I would really like to have one. And he looked at me, he goes, well, get one. And then I thought to myself, yeah. So then I started looking, and my lovely wife, who's very conservative, wasn't thrilled about it. But, we had our discussions, and it got to the point where it was okay. And then when I was looking, the one thing I noticed, and I love Porsche. I'm a fanboy, basically. But the one thing, if I could criticize Porsche, and I say Porsche because in our Porsche club locally here, if you say Porsche, they do not like it. They in the newsletter, they remind you that it's called Porsche, and they spell it out with, so it's so sorry guys.
I've just got one question. Is your other car Mercedes?
Yeah.
What's that other big popular German brand of car, by the way?
BMW.
Okay.
BMW.
Are you sure it's pronounced BMW, by the way?
Oh, I don't know.
So this is what gets me. So, I did German at school when I was 16. And, I do appreciate that, obviously, I do respect other languages. And in Germany, you would not say Porsche. That's correct, okay? But however, a BMW, if you were to say that alphabetically in German, it's a BMW. Okay?
Yeah.
And no one says, I've got a BMW. Because it's B, you don't say B, it's BMW. So it's a VW, or I can't remember what the W is, but it's a bit weird that we get picked out on Porsche, but everyone calls it a BMW because it's not even a BMW. So,
well, you know what they call it here in the U.S.? They call it Beamer.
Okay,
you ever heard of that?
Yeah,
Beamer.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I definitely know it's called kind of Porsche, but then actually, you know what? Let's not even go into this because Porsche is kind of wrong as well. I think it's Porsche. It's a very the whole American, because people name their little dogs Porsche.
Yeah, or Ellen DeGeneres, her wife is named Porsche.
Oh really? Okay.
You know Ellen DeGeneres? Do you know her?
No.
Okay, God, she's a big deal in the U.S.
Wow.
Okay. So then that just shows you how different countries are. Ellen DeGeneres is like, everybody knows her, and yet you go outside the country.
Oh, Ellen, the one that does a talk show.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fine. I just don't know her by the surname. That's
okay.
All. Okay. Yeah. Well, listen. You mentioned the design of the Porsche Cayman, and there's something that I wasn't supposed to sort of tell anybody at the moment because I'm working on something really special at the moment. I managed to get in contact with the guy that was the head of Porsche design for 25 years. He designed the Cayman single-handedly. I've kind of got a bit of a story of him. His name is Pinky Lai, okay? and I'm trying to get him to appear on this channel and do an interview with him, because he is the guy that penned the lines of the Porsche Cayman. He did the Porsche 996. He was he was the guy that gave us the Cayman that we see and have now. So you mentioned that you saw the lines of the Cayman go by and you were like, wow, that's the car that you want. This is all thanks to this one guy. I think your video's gone, by the way, Tom. You're frozen, so I guess I'm still live and this is still streaming. We're going to have to wait for Tom to come back. Oh, no, you're back. There you go.
You're back.
There you go. So yes, so I'm really trying to get this guy Pinky Lai on the channel to do an interview with, and I want to try and do a feature on him. He penned the Cayman. We owe a lot to that guy.
Cool. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about when I got my car. It's kind of interesting. So I wanted a Cayman. Oh, and so here's the thing about Porsche that I'm so disappointed in. They're boring colors. Boring colors. It's like, good grief. I even look at $185,000, just to fantasize on like Car Gurus. And even then, black, white, silver, gray, and then maybe a blue, some red and maybe a yellow or whatever. But it's, good grief. I don't, what is it with Porsche?
Well, I think when I was speaking to a new sales guy, this is probably in about January, February this time, in a Porsche showroom, and he was saying that most people opt for black because it's a very safe color. So if you buy the car and you want to sell the car on, it's the safest color choice to get if you care about resale. I would like to go for something a bit more kind of exotic. Like, I think for me at the moment, I like Carmine red, I like the blue, but unfortunately I'm not a big fan on the gentian blue. So I've stopped calling it gentian blue. The gentian blue is the kind of purpley blue, but I'm more of the blue that we have, which I believe is aqua blue, or there's sapphire blue.
Yeah. Okay. I think ours is sapphire. Is that what the color is?
No. So I think ours is aqua blue, and the 981 had sapphire blue, but they look, to all intents and purposes, the same.
I'm gonna look at just to make sure.
Oh wow, you've got your paperwork there.
Yeah, I got my paperwork here.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, should I tell you guys how much I paid for it and stuff? Would that be interesting?
Yeah, you can say. In fact, so yeah, tell us. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So I decided I want a Cayman. In fact, when I bought this car, I know this is crazy. I bought the car without ever seeing it. I had never been in a Porsche. I had never driven a Porsche or been in one ever. And I bought this car on the internet, and it came from California. So that's how much.
So you bought it on looks. So when you were like, oh, the handling, the dynamics, you just were like.
Well, if I do a search on Porsche Cayman on YouTube, and if you look at they're all, the little red bar that says that you've seen it.
Okay.
I have listened to every single Porsche Cayman video on YouTube. I mean, I get into I'm to the point where I'm getting into the Saudi Arabia ones where
wow.
I mean, I've listened to some of them twice. I mean, so even though I haven't, even though I didn't physically get into one, and I know it's crazy. I bought a Porsche without ever driving in one.
Yeah.
And ever even touched one. It's crazy, but I just knew I wanted it. And so I went online and I really wanted a color. And so the blue was so rare that, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money because it's, my first car, and I'm like, I don't want to spend a lot. So it was, I paid, so it's a 2009 Cayman base, 987.2. It had 69,000 miles on it, and I paid, what did I pay? 20.
Oh, before you tell us, guess. You guys on the comments thread. Well, I think we heard it's a 20 something, but get your guesses in now on the comment stream. We'll see if we can basically get anywhere close. I mean, you know what? They're going to take too long to come in for this, so you might as well just tell us. I'm probably going to say 69,000 miles, $25,000.
Oh my God! It was 24. I think 24.5. That's incredibly good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I've always wondered if the US has a little bit of a premium on the cars. So if I took a car like for like on sale in the UK versus the US, I was always wondered whether there'd be a little bit of an extra premium, but it's hard to say.
Have you ever listened to Four Wheel Trader? That guy? Have you ever seen him?
Oh yeah, is he? Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
My gosh. Well, and you've done it too. You've done it with all your graphs and stuff.
Believe it or not, so I did one of those things when I was learning how to use a bit of software called Tableau. And the four-wheel trader guy, he actually got in touch with me because when he does his videos, I think he has about 30 points. I think he manually collects them. But then I wrote a bit of software to scrape them off Auto Trader. So I had thousands of points. So he said, can you send me your data? It's really cool. I'd like to make a video with that. So I said, yeah, I'll send you the data. But when you make a video, just put a little shout out and say you got the data from Max Revs. I've never heard from him ever since. So I'm not sure if he used the data or not. But I did get an email of him.
And just in case any of your viewers have not seen him, he's the guy that does this. Have you noticed that?
He does this. I've only seen one of his videos where he's in the living room, but I haven't seen him do that. No.
Yeah. Every video he does it. He just does that. It's like,
shall I do it? Maybe I'll get more viewers or something.
It's his trademark. I swear it's his trademark.
Okay.
Yeah. So about $25 I paid for it. Oh, and here's what's kind of interesting. So, I didn't fly out there. I just bought it, and and he took a lot of pictures, and he told me there were some issues with it, and so then it came in this big semi, down my street, and then when it parked, the guy came out, and he was this Russian guy. He was, oh my gosh, was he Russian? So when he unloads it, I should have sent you a picture of this, but so he unloads it, and it's way on top, and he drives it out. And then he lowers it. It's really cool. And then I look inside, and I'm like, oh my God, what's in there? He had, he just hauls stuff, right? He had an airplane in there with its wings off, right? And then he had this wild Harley Davidson motorcycle, where the handles are way up here, and then oh my gosh, it was like he's like.
How far? Which state did you buy the car in, by the way? Did you source
California?
It from? Wow.
1,800 miles. Yeah. Wow. It cost $1,200 to get it to me.
It could have made for a nice road trip, though.
Yeah, but I can't afford the time,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Plus, in my opinion, driving a Cayman from 1,800 miles, it's almost a waste because 75% of it's going to be like that, and I'm afraid that my car would have got mad at me for that. You know what I mean?
Did you actually get a check on the car done? Did you know it was in good mechanical working order?
Yeah. I got a check from this guy. He charged me $100. I don't know. I guess the main thing they do with the stick shift, the critical thing is over revs.
Yeah.
Or not max revs, because max revs is considered okay.
Correct.
Over revs is not good. Yeah. So he put it into the computer, and then he gave me a report and said, hey, this looks really good. Somebody was good to the car. So. And
now you've done loads of over revs, not going around the corners, no?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I watched that. I don't go over 7,500.
Yeah.
Rarely.
I mean, it's worth just clarifying. It's pretty difficult to actually do the over revs because we're talking about downshifting. So we're talking about doing a high speed, say in third gear. If you were doing, say, 6,000 RPM in third gear and you whacked it into second, then you'd over rev the engine. But generally speaking, it's pretty hard to do that. Unless you're really going,
And maybe some of your subscribers will comment on this, but I've got a question. Is the Porsche engine? I mean, I think it is, but it's so hard. Like when you're driving it, when you're revving it at 6,000, is it okay to be in third gear and drive at 6,000 RPM? I mean, are you supposed to not drive it at 6,000 RPM very long? How is that?
So I'd say, I'm no expert. The guys on the comment stream can sort of chip in if they want, but you wouldn't go for like a 50-mile journey at 6,000 RPM. I wouldn't. Right. You're generating a lot of heat, but it's not the best. Plus, you're going to burn a lot of fuel anyway. But generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with obviously taking the engines up to high RPM as long as your oil temperature is hot. So I think this came up in the 718 GT4 stream that we did. I'm a firm believer in building up my oil temperature before I do anything like above 4,000 RPM.
Me too.
Some people just start the car and go nuts straight away.
I don't. I get it to mine is, it's the 175. I guess that's 175 centigrade, right? Probably.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you have it in centigrade. It's basically when the needle is generally vertical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I baby my car until that oil temperature is stabilized at that, and then I go. To me, it's not worth it. And another thing too. This is terrible, but in my Porsche, always the premium gas, always.
Correct.
But in my Mercedes, it wants 91, and I'm cheap, and it's got the little microphones. Do you know how that works? It's in your car. It's the anti-knock technology, and I think Porsche's got it too, where it listens to your cylinders, and if it hears a knock, like a misfiring, it will adjust the timing.
Correct. I know they're called knock sensors. I never knew they were done via microphones, because I think they retard the timing and you get less power.
Isn't that weird? They're literally little microphones that are listening to your cylinders.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Wow.
So in my Mercedes.
Whoa! Sorry, Tom. We're gonna have to stop now. Special guest appearance. Angela Ingracio's come online.
Oh, you're kidding!
Look at that!
Oh my God!
Hello, there you go.
Oh, princess girl. That's my daughter.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, how exciting!
Is she in Milwaukee as well?
No, she's in Portland, Oregon, way on the West Coast.
Okay.
And she's probably with her fiance Alex. Yeah, and they're gonna get married in our backyard in August. And
the wedding car is clearly going to be the Cayman, yeah.
Yeah, I told him that Alex could drive it. Yeah, he wasn't quite as good as Kathy driving it, but we'll have to practice some more.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So there we go. She's been here. I didn't realise. Maybe she's been here before, but someone's just pointed out that she's been on the live stream. But I just noticed one of the comments from her now, though.
Oh, good.
There you go. Fantastic. There you go. So yeah, this is quite a unique. I think I'm getting more into the swing of things. I'm trying not to pay too much attention to the comments, and this is, I guess, some of the car people may be going a little bit off topic. Let us know in the comments. But I think this is great. So let's just keep going for it.
Yeah. So I guess that was the guy brought it. He unloaded it. My brother was there, and I videotaped it and everything. I took pictures. It was so exciting. But I'll tell you, I had mentioned that I had never been in a Porsche. I've obviously never driven one. So I get it, and I'm driving it, and for like the first 2 weeks, I was like, oh my God. I was thinking I was going to have to get a big pillow to sit on.
Oh, really?
I had never driven a car that was so stiff. It
really?
Was, oh my God. I was like, yeah. I mean, they're stiff. I mean, they're.
But are you used to it now? Is it something you just had to adjust to, or do you still find it stiff?
I'm totally used to it now.
Okay.
I'm totally used to it now. Yeah. But in the beginning, I was like, what have I got myself into? This is, low to the ground. But gosh, that steering is just.
I mean, that's what I love. You go round and roundabout all these corners, and it just stays flat and level. Yeah. I bet in your Mercedes, it's like a boat. You kind of like going around the corners like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to pick up on one comment that we got from 1530 Swimmer, and he's basically talking about how the 987 could be a future classic. And in this conversation I had with Pinky Lai, who was the designer of the Cayman, he did the first one. Whether you like this or not, the designer has said there is only one Cayman in his eyes, and that was the 987, because he penned that to be quite different to the 911. So if you look at the rear, I think he had quite a specific profile that he wanted to do and make it different to the 911, which was the 996 at the time. And I think he says each iteration forwards from the 987 is less Cayman in his perspective. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I really hope I can get him to feature. I'm just trying hard at this right now. But it was amazing talking to him. The 987 is the Cayman that he wanted us to have.
Well, I tell you one thing. The rear end, and I think I put this in one of my comments, the rear end of the Cayman I think looks so much better than the rear end of the 911. I like 911s, and I kind of like the side view of a 911, but the front view is fairly similar to a Cayman, but there's no way a 911 looks better from the back than a Cayman. I think the Cayman is the most beautiful. It's got that 3/4 view from the rear with the hips. Oh, that's the shot.
I think you're probably the first person I think that I've come across that's purchased the Cayman without even driving it, and you literally got it based on the design and what you read about it on the internet.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
And never even been in any Porsche ever, or never driven a Porsche. Yeah.
Listen, so Nate's just put a comment about please get him on. Nate's featuring on our live stream next weekend. And what I'm going to do for you guys, if you're watching, I want to put together a tribute video on this channel just to highlight the work that Pinky Lai has done for all of us. Because it's quite, not everyone knows it. Everyone just thinks of, I'm going to thank Porsche for the work of the Cayman. It's one person. There was an internal design kind of competition inside. They picked out his sketches for the Cayman. There were a lot of other competing projects. So he was telling me what was going on in the time when he designed the Cayman, and we owe it to him. So I'm hoping to get him on as a super special guest on this channel. But we'll see how that goes.
You should send him that what I just said about. You should send him that 10 seconds of my voice in a little email and really get his. That would say, hey, look at these people.
So I tell you what, everyone, 31 minutes. If you want Pinky Lai to feature on a live stream with me, just put down on the comments thing, we want to see Pinky Lai. It's PINK space LAI. Just say we want to see him on this channel, and then I'll try and sort of reach out to him.
We want to see Pinky ...
LAI.
He is
he
designed
the Cayman.
Hero.
Exactly, he is our hero.
Yeah, there we go.
If you could, brilliant. If you can all do that, then that would be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So, by the way, I've got some pictures. Do you want me to go over some of the pictures, or so I've got one. So actually, I take it you're part of some Porsche club. You mentioned that they'll give you a slap on the wrist if you say Porsche and not Porsche. Let's get a little picture of your. So on screen right now is a big old picture of a whole bunch of you. Kind of under some wooden cover at the moment. So there's a whole bunch of you. This is obviously is this the Milwaukee Porsche Cayman Club?
Yeah, Milwaukee Region Porsche Cayman Club, right.
Wow, and it's just Porsche Caymans. That's cool.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Porsche. Yeah.
Oh, okay, for all Porsches. And there, I can see you're standing center stage there.
Yeah, well, I was the photographer, so I had to run and get the medal.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Because I'm a photographer on the side a little bit. In fact, I want to kind of start taking pictures of people's cars because my portrait business is going down the tubes. But anyway, but yeah, the Porsche Club. Oh my gosh, I've looked at like Jaguar and other cars, and without the Porsche Club, I don't know, but I may in the future may have like maybe looked at other cars, but because of the people in the Porsche Club or like the new Corvette, I mean, I would feel terrible if I didn't have a Porsche because these people they're just wonderful, so friendly. And I'll tell you, we went on this one trip. It was an overnight, and in Wisconsin, the way the topography is that, you've heard of the glaciers that kind of, when glaciers moved like 1 million years ago or whatever, they scraped the state of Wisconsin flat. So we are just flat, which is like, But they missed this little part on the southwest of the state, and it's rolling hills, and oh my God, we went on this drive with 21 Porsches, and they, you meet somewhere with the club, you wear your little name tags, and then you have to sign your name on this waiver form, and they say, blah, 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 this is sanctioned by Porsche America, stop at all stoplights, don't go over the speed limit, blah, 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 blah. And then we all get in our cars and we line up, and then we start going, and it's like, I mean, it is spirited. I mean, spirited driving. Just, and it's almost like the herd mentality, because the guy in front leads the pace. Okay. So, if you're like 9 cars back, well, of course, and you figure, hey, if there's a cop, That's what do you guys call them cops?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Okay. So if there's a cop or whatever, I don't know, maybe he would like pull over 21 cars, but I don't know. You just get into this mode of, and my wife does too. It was so wild that, so we're doing, usually my wife is like, she'll hold on to the handrail or whatever. If I just turn, normal driving, it's like, so I have to tell her, okay, Kathy, we're bringing Bianca, don't drink coffee or whatever while we're driving. That's not a good idea. So she's real conservative. But when we get on these sanctioned drives, oh my God, she's like, well, come on, Tom, go, catch up to that guy. I'm like, Kathy, I'm going 70. And then at the end of the weekend, when it was officially done, then it was like back, and it was like, well, don't slow down. It's like we both got into this separate mental, I don't know what it was, but gosh, if you haven't, I don't know if you've got Porsche. Do you belong to a Porsche club?
Not really, no. I think I kind of went to our official kind of a Porsche club, and it was kind of a little bit like, it was 911 based, and personally I felt that it was a bit like, oh, you don't have a 911, maybe this is kind of not the club for you. So I think it's quite a regional thing as well, but it's
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad, because I'd say in our club, it's probably, and I'm just guessing, maybe 60% 911, 30% Cayman, 10% Boxster.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. So it's a great mixture. No one says, I hate your 996 because it's got the fried egg headlights. Yeah. We all think it, but we don't say it, So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it looks like my camera's probably switched off right now. So I'm going to have to switch to a backup camera if that's going to work. Bear with me for a moment. Okay. Oops, what's going on here? So the internal temperature on my other camera just went a bit too high. So I'm gonna switch over to you, Tom, and you can kind of keep talking. We had a question.
And your questions now.
Oh, I forgot about that. I put a little sound thing together for when people could ask their questions. So there you go. I'm gonna put you back on screen, and we had a question basically come in around. You purchased your car with 69,000 miles on the clock. What if you saw a Cayman with 120,000 miles on the clock? What's your viewpoint on the engines and so on?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, we're probably going to talk about my potential next purchase, or maybe some of your subscribers have seen my video that you did on my search for a GTS. But no, my next Porsche Cayman, I want to get it below 30,000.
Okay.
That's what I want. I mean, I don't know. I can barely change. I don't have any skill. So I don't know anything about that. I guess it's based on your budget, I think. And my next car, I've been looking at some that are like 15,000 miles, 2016 GTS, and I kind of wish I could find one with about like 25,000 miles, because then it'd be less expensive. That's my sweet spot as far as what I'd like to spend.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll kind of hand it back to the guy that asked the question. So are you looking to purchase a Cayman with 120,000+ miles, or are you looking to purchase a car with 90,000 miles on the clock, and you're just interested to see if you could put on another 30,000 miles? So we'll kind of put that question back to you. So did I hear you say you're thinking about another car?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So what's all that about?
Well, can we talk about yours first, or should we talk about mine first?
Well, I only have one car, as in, go on. You can ask me questions if you want.
Wasn't there, I think I've seen some videos on your channel, something about a GT 7, GT 9. What is that car? GT.
You mean when I kind of got my fixation with the GT4?
Oh, the GT4. You mean that car that is really supposed to be raced, and it's got that big, massive wing that should only be driven by people 30 years or younger. That one? Is that the one?
Well, I wouldn't associate all those attributes with it, but I did go a bit GT4 crazy, to be honest.
I think you did. You were
it's a great car. I still think it's a great car, but it's just Too expensive for me, to be honest. I think I did get caught away with the whole, I wanted to sort of change up my car because I think I was meeting quite a lot of people. I love the Alcantara inside the cars. So,
Oh, okay.
so like I met a guy called Matt who basically had the 981 GTS, and I think obviously with the 987s, the best the 987 ever got was the Cayman R, which it's about 50 kilos lighter. It's a bit stripped out, but I think for me the 981 started getting a bit special on the interior of the car with all the Alcantara and so on. And then you kind of take that up a level to the GT4, put the wing on the back. Great car. I still love those cars, but
So do you have your racing helmet right there? Can you show us? Where is it?
Are you trying to say that I would never take the car on track or something?
I don't. Would you? You live in London? What's the speed limit around your house? 30 miles an hour.
You can probably do about 40, sort of 50. You can connect onto the motorways, but I wouldn't say buying these cars is an all-out top speed issue. You wouldn't.
Let me do a little bit of math. I'm going to figure out. I'm going to do some physics here. I'm going to determine the downforce on Max's wing when he goes 40 miles an hour. Let's see. That's about 7 pounds. Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, well, okay, so maybe deep down when I was a teenager, I never had a hot hatch, so I'm not sure if other people on this channel, when you were like, I don't know, 17, 18, 19, 20, like I never got that thing out of my system. I didn't have this super hot hatch, bit of a Honda Type R type car. So maybe I'm just trying to relive and recuperate something that I didn't have as a child. I don't know.
I just thought of something. I'm trying to project me to you. So when I think about it, really, see, I'm 57. So for me, I want to be kind of like downplay it because I don't want people to. That's why I don't want red. I don't want people to say, "Oh, look, Tom's going through a midlife crisis." I hate that.
But, I'm not. Surely we don't care what other people say to. I mean,
well, I usually don't, but what I think is I think what's going to be a classic. Not as much now because of the new GTS. They're bringing back the 6-cylinder. See, I was hoping to get a 2016 981 GTS before I knew about the 6 cylinders that we're going to bring back, because if they wouldn't have brought it back, I think that 2016 GTS would become a modern classic. But it'll still be great, but it's not the end though, because they're bringing it back.
So I've got a question for you. You say that the 2016 GTS would be a modern classic. Are you quite what I'm trying to get to here is that would your answer change with age? So let's say there's some people that are going to say the 987 is the classic because it came first. Some are going to say the 981, same engines, kind of, the design is better on the inside, loss of the kind of hydraulic steering, it's gone electrically assisted. So this whole design classic thing, it's a real tough one, I think.
The 987 GTS would probably become a classic before the 981. I would imagine. Yeah. But so I've been looking at GTSs, and there's 2 that I didn't get that I was going to be going after, and they were sold. But and maybe some of your listeners can comment on this, is that PASM. It's the adaptive dampers, and what it is that the shock absorber has like a little. It's got like magnetic flakes in it or something, and I don't know how it works exactly, but I've read up on it. But the adaptive dampers, I think, are really cool. But when people ordered the 981 GTS, Porsche, you could get PASM, the adaptive dampers, standard. But if you wanted to, you could just check a box, and they would not give you those and lower the car 20 millimeters to give it a little bit stiffer ride and a little bit cooler look or whatever. Okay. Well, I'm an old fogey. I don't want that harsh ride. I want to be able to drive with 340 horsepower, but not have it be so darn stiff. So what I'm finding is that probably 4 out of 5 981 GTSs, they chose a sport suspension. And so I find these cars, I'm like, oh, look at that, it's awesome, that's perfect, oh, that's gorgeous. And then I look, and it's got sports suspension.
Yeah.
Drives me. You know, another thing that drives me nuts, you know, when you're looking for cars on the internet at a Cayman, how many of these car dealers, they take 40 pictures and they don't take a picture of right below the gear shift that shows you, does it have sports exhaust, does it have PASM, does it have, and it's like, of all things not to take a picture, they take 18 pictures of the steering wheel. It's like, can you please take a picture of, drives me crazy.
Yeah. I think the advice that I was given when I purchased my Cayman was that I think sometimes the PASM thing, it can sometimes go wrong, and therefore it's a bit of an expensive thing to fix. But then some people kind of said that it's either too hard or too soft. So I've just got the standard suspension. Now I would have thought that a car without PASM is the same as just a car with PASM, but with it on or off, whichever way it is. But,
you know, I have Max, I have tried so hard, and I have searched this and read so many comments about, and even gone to the Porsche website. PASM. Okay, when you get PASM, what is it like with the button on versus off? And I swear it's a mystery. I cannot find the answer anywhere. And Porsche, again, a little bit of criticism, they do a terrible job. It's almost like they're secretive about what exactly it does. You know, they're.
Well, I'm no expert. If I was designing PASM, I would somehow, you know, like with a normal spring, it's got like a compression ratio. So some springs are easy to compress, others are quite hard to compress. I would do it's more about the damping, in the sense that when you go over a bump, it would try to basically either, you know, like cushion it so you don't feel it so much, or, you know, pass it on through the car. So if you were on track, you would want it to be quite stiff and you want to feel the road. But I think it's more about if you had a spring, it's altering the compression ratio. So if anyone else knows anything about PASM, say something on the channel. But I'd say that it's how it soaks up the bumps and the whole damping point of view.
Yeah, but see, the reason I like PASM is I'm hoping that I can make it a little bit cushier and still have the power and stuff, because I don't know, the Cayman, to me, it takes corners so amazingly that I guess when I'm driving around town, because we have terrible roads, they're so bumpy, and it's like, you know, like this, I would love to be able to just put on PASM and know that I could just not shake my brain and have blood come out of my ears. You know what I mean?
Is it that bad? So maybe, I mean, because you try getting the springs checked. I mean, maybe the springs could do with a bit of an overhaul.
It's just me. Okay.
So I thought we had the worst roads in the UK. So I love, like, the US just has highways, so it's plenty of straight, flat roads.
Yeah, well, just around town, there's a lot of rough. Like when I go to the grocery store, there's this one road that I got to go through. It's 25 miles an hour, but it's just like torture. It's just terrible. Terrible.
So I'm going to pick up on one comment we had over here, which I think was surprising. I'm going to scroll back a bit. So there's a guy in Germany who was asking about 987 Gen 1 prices, but he says the prices are higher in Germany. So MG Drive, if you're still here, I can't believe that the prices for a Cayman are higher in Germany than the UK or the USA. That doesn't sound right to me.
Maybe it's because in Germany they're really loyal to the cars and they don't want to buy, like Italian car. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, no idea. So basically, you want a GTS. So hang on. So you're asking me about my 718 GT4 obsession. You're saying that you'd like to get a GTS. Is that right?
What I'd love to get. I wish I could find a 2016 GTS with the interior package, which has the carbon fiber and the deviated stitching. But I wish I could get it where it wasn't red. It was just the gray. I think I would like that better, because the red GT, it's just a little bit too much. I mean, it's great, but if I had a choice, I'd pick the little.
So you're talking about GT4 was Phil's the guy on this channel that had the gentian blue GT4, and he did exactly what you said. He went for the grey, and he didn't go for the carbon fiber trim. I think he kept it in the silver or something. He did quite an artistic job on the spec of his car. So
I actually, there's one thing about the Caymans that's different about the 911s is that typically when people order Caymans, they don't spend a whole lot more money because it is kind of the entry level, kind of, I guess. So you don't see, like, I love two-tone leather. I love two-tone leather. I don't like the interior of the car to be so just monotone, except with the GTS, even though it's all black, with the Alcantara and the leather, and then the carbon fiber. Now that's cool. I think that's really neat. So that's what I'm hoping to get. Either 2015 or 2016 981 GTS under 30,000 miles. And then when it comes to the color, I gotta have black wheels. That's
really?
something I know. Yeah, I know you don't.
What's the body color of this car that you're going to get there?
Either white or black, probably.
Okay.
And then I like to tint the windows a little bit. So, I just...
Whoa. Let's roll back a bit. So you kind of said earlier on, I didn't want to get a guard's red car because people are going to think I'm having a midlife crisis. But you're going to get a black car with black wheels and black tinted windows, yeah?
That's cool. And then the red calipers. Oh my gosh, that's what's so cool. What's so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I like white with the black wheels or black with the black wheels. I just like, there is a car that's perfect right now. Perfect. I've got it saved, but it's that dark gray. Yeah. I just think I'm just going to wait it out and try to get...
Well, you might be waiting a long time because we just got a comment from Nate, and Nate's in the US as well. If you're looking for a manual 981 GTS, apparently there's not a lot on the market.
I want PDK.
Oh, you want PDK? Okay.
I want PDK.
So that's another change then. So you've had enough of manual then?
Yeah, because I want my wife to drive it.
Okay. So how many GTSs do you think came with PDK in the US? I mean...
how many GTSs are PDK? I'm guessing...
So of the ones that you saw on Auto Trader, were they PDK?
Well, see, the thing is, I don't even search for man. I click off. So I'd say it's 2/3 PDK, 1/3 manual. I could be off on that, but yeah.
Wow. So when are you looking to do this maneuver? Like you'll sell your existing 987. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to do it as soon as I can, but I got to find the right car. And then, of course, this time I'm going to fly out and check it out because this is going to be probably $60,000. So it's from 25,000 to 60. That's a big jump. So I'm not going to.
So someone just said that you'd look like David Hasselhoff in that car.
Oh.
But you know what? That's got to be. To be honest, if you're going to go black on a car, and I think you've got the weather for it over there more so than us over here, I would go for the black tinted windows as well. Because if you're going to go black, I'm going to go all black.
Yeah. Now, when I tinted my, did you? You did show the picture of my car, right?
I did. Yeah. I'll put it up there one more time.
Yeah. The when I did the tinting, my wife gave it to me for my birthday, and I went a little bit too dark, I think. So if I do it again, I'm going to go maybe one shade. I
noticed that. I didn't really notice it. So your windows have got tints?
I've got tints, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's really nice, but I think I went a little bit too dark. So we'll see. It was so hard. The guy is like showing me all these different films, and you look at it, and then he puts it up against a car, and it's like it's so hard to choose, but I think I went a little bit too dark.
Well, there you go. Someone's just said you can get the 981 Black Edition, so it's not obviously it doesn't have the interior bits of the GTS, but that's.
But the GTS also has smoked lights. It's got some of the lights in the inside are black versus silver, and then it's got a different diffuser in the back. It's got a different. There's a lot of things that are different. I'm trying to roll back a little bit. So with your 987 currently, what would you say are the reasons you want to get the 981 GTS? PDK, so my wife can drive it. 75 more horsepower, adaptive
Oh
dampers,
yeah, I forgot you're going bass to. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah.
and sport exhaust.
Yeah.
So it's and then it's weird because the thing that's the least important to me is what's it called, the little timer that's up there.
The chrono, sports chrono package.
Sports chrono, yeah. But the GTS comes with sport chrono, PASM, and the sports exhaust. And here's the thing too that drives me crazy is that I found a 2014 Porsche Cayman S, and it had PASM, sports chrono, and sports exhaust. It was basically a GTS. Those are the three main features of it, and I could not believe the price. Oh, Max is going away. He's going to go get his GT4.
Oh yeah, you keep talking. You keep talking.
Okay, so they're even when you look at a Porsche Cayman with sports chrono, with those three features, I'm amazed at basically what I'm saying is there's a big premium for the GPS badge. Yeah. There's a premium. There's definitely a premium.
Porsche good at getting money out of us, aren't they?
It's weird because what's weird is that if you buy it new, all the things that all the things that add up to the GTS are like, let's say it's $16,000 or whatever, and you get it for like 12 or something. So it's a great package for the value if you want those things. But then afterwards, on a used market, it's the opposite, which is those features in a GTS actually are a premium compared to it's rare, but you can find Cayman S's that have sports chrono, either sports suspension or PASM, and the sports exhaust. So it's basically a GTS without like the...
Yeah, it's like the same way you can get the 987 base with all the options to pretty much make it a 987 Sport, but without the engine.
Yeah. But this
you've got another family member. Sorry, you got Tony's here as well now, so and he says you need a pure black car. So I think your whole family's come out to watch you.
Oh my, Tony, he's late. I'm gonna have Tony. It's probably my fault. I probably told him 1 o'clock, but it was 2. But yep, I probably told him the wrong time. But Tony, you can listen to it later because you'll see more pictures and stuff. Oh no, he does see the pictures, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does see the pictures. Yeah.
Hey, isn't that cool? That I've got my dog.
So right now, I mean, I got a little bit distracted because my camera failed on me. So the DSLR it just got too hot. So I went back to this camera. I'm now going to get my audio, and this is...
Send in your questions now!
So I've just called out to people to send in their questions. Basically, if you've got any questions for Tom here, basically go for it in the comment section. I wasn't paying too much attention to the comment section because I was trying to have a conversation with you, Tom. But this is the time to get any questions in you've got specifically for Tom. While we're here, you kind of mentioned your photography stuff. So you said you were looking to try and get photos of other people's cars, or?
Yeah, because I'm a photographer and Can I give him my webpage?
Yeah, sure.
TomandGracia.com. TOM, and then Ingracia is in as in out, grass as in green grass, IA. So TomandGracia.com. That's my website, and I do all sorts of artistic photography. But the way I pay for my equipment is I do portraiture, and I kind of specialize in in the U.S. when young people are in high school, like when they're between 14 and 18, that's high school, and on their third year they get portraits of them, and it's kind of a big deal. And I got that business, and it was fantastic because Max, you saw I've got like the 16 lenses. I've got massive amounts of photography equipment, just a whole studio and everything, and it's paid for from this little business. Well, this little business is now really little because people do it with their iPhone. So I'm trying to switch to maybe getting into taking portraits of people's cars. And so, like my car with the kind of like the vignette around it, and I do some Photoshop. And
well, listen, you guys on the channel, you can go check out his website, and if you like what's on his website, go reach out to Tom. We've got some we've got some comments coming in, basically saying, if you are going to get your car, go for the GTS package, because for the options you get, it is the best pricing you can get for all those options. So that's pretty much the way to go. Another guy's basically saying the GTS prices are more stable as well, so there's more chance of you holding onto your money there.
Yeah.
I had a question come in from Andy, who is the winner of our anagram of the day, and he was saying, do you ever see yourself moving away from the Porsche brand?
You know, the reason I don't is not so much the car, it's the Porsche Club and the people.
Okay.
It really is.
Wow.
And you know, the other thing too is that I tell you what, when I look at GTSs and the price, and then I look at 911s, yikes. Man, you can get a nice 911 for the price of a Cayman GTS. I mean, you usually have to go down. You have to maybe have a little, maybe like instead of a 2016, you could maybe get a 2013 911, and instead of 15,000 miles, you could maybe get 30,000 miles. So 2 years older, another 15,000 miles, but you can find them with PASM and Sports Chrono and Sports Exhaust. And I've never told Max this, but it's tempting. So you guys are gonna have to try to convince me not to do that. It really is. I look and I'm like,
whatever rocks your boat. I think, whatever rocks your boat. That's got to be said.
I don't think I'll do it.
No, something's coming from Chris Stevens, which I can answer his question as well. He's asking you, do you have any problems with rattles in your car?
Yes, yes, I do.
Everyone's got. So I've got this famous the rear boot lid rattle, but I kind of just got away with it by so I changed the rubber stoppers, and I've just got some kind of like sticky pads that you could stick around the edges, and it just kind of holds it in place a bit more. But I think that is a very common issue. So I'd love to know if the 981 suffers from that as well. But I'm pretty sure every 987 Gen 1, Gen 2. They've all got that rear boot lid rattle problem, which is a bit annoying.
In fact, my daughter Angela, who may still be on the call, her fiance Alex, he might be on the call too. He's the one that helped me figure that out with adjusting it and things. But then I saw online that someone said, "Oh, you just have to replace the struts." But I don't.
Really? Is that what? Okay. I'm not sure that would make a difference.
Everything on the internet is true, so just go ahead and buy some struts.
Okay, here's a good one. So, Wazzy Machine. Tom, how do you feel about the 987 versus 981 styling? And is that more or less important than the performance upgrade of a 981 GTS? I
have to admit, the one thing about the 987, and I know this might be sacrilegious, but how the roof has that deeper dive. It's a little bit more rounded on the top on the 987 versus 981. The 987 kind of goes like, I'm going to exaggerate. It goes like this. The 981 kind of goes like that.
It's just the back or the front.
Have you noticed that? If you look at
where the roof meets the front windscreen. Show us on your t-shirt. Well, you've got a 981 on your t-shirt.
Yeah. So the 987 would be like this. It would be, so the 987 would go like that and then down. It's more bulbous. It's a little bit more rounded up here, and then the 981 is a little bit smoothed out up there. And I have to admit, I kind of like the 981 look of the roof, and I definitely like the 981 from the back better. I like the fact that it's all integrated all the way across. I do like.
You know what? We have to get Pinky Lai on here, because I kind of agreed with you in the sense that I kind of like the 981. It looked more modern. When I had a chat with him and he told me what he was thinking when he designed the 987 and how the 981 has ruined his design touches, I was like, man, we never get to hear what the designer thought. So he was head of exterior designing, and he literally put this stuff together. So when you kind of hear what you have is the product of this guy's creative kind of genius, it just made me actually appreciate the 987 lines a bit more. And I know that we can all have a personal preference, but it was really interesting knowing that he wanted it to look very different to the 911. Whereas the 981, you could say it's kind of bringing in more family heritage from the 911s, and they're all more curvy around the back and stuff. So
yeah. I just I guess I'd say the changes to the rear are probably what I really like, and I do like the slightly less bulbous part of the roof, because I can tell you that sometimes when I look at my car, I'm like,
oh my God, sorry Tom, we've got someone else. We've got Joe. Is your brother?
oh, my brother, yay!
Oh my God, this is your whole family's come out today. There you
Hi,
go.
Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
How come he's so late?
I don't know. I'm guessing maybe your son or someone's reached out to him.
I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't
There you go.
complain.
Well,
Yeah.
one more question. Have you had any problems with your Cayman?
No, not really. But the things that were, you did the video on it.
Yeah.
The things that I was disappointed in is that the rear taillights,
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
that silver paint is flaking. I think it might be because my rear, my hatch, what is it, the caulking or the what do you call that? The
Is that rubber?
steel or
Okay.
the rubber steel.
Yeah.
On that side, on the right side, you can see that it's kind of down and it's not really working that well. And then that's the side where the taillight is flaking. And
You know what? So, I mean, I meant to ask a lot of other viewers here. So, Tom's put a video thing. I think it's called 3 wear and tear items. Check that out on the channel. Because my rear boot lid, I think it's got that similar thing where the rubber, it just sort of tends to go down and you don't see it around the edge of it. So that could be quite normal. Check the rear boot lid on your 987 and just see if the rubber seal goes from the top all the way round, because mine doesn't actually go all the way around.
well, does it go all the way on across the top though?
It goes no, so on the corners it seems to just go in or something. Because
Okay, I'm gonna check my left side to see that. For some reason, I thought, oh, maybe I was thinking that water was getting in. It was dripping all the way down and somehow getting into the light and then getting moisture, and then or maybe it's just a bad paint job.
yeah,
And I can tell you the other little disappointing thing about my car when I think about it is that I bought it with 69,000 miles, and my Mercedes has like 140. And if I look at my Mercedes at 130 whatever versus 76 now, that's a lot difference. The person that had my car beforehand, I swear to God, had a little yippy dog that drove with her, because it's in that video.
Scratches, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just weird scratches and the carpeting on the door, it looks really faded. I swear to God, somebody, and I know this, Max, somebody spray painted some of the interior.
Someone said that if they use the shampoo and they shampooed the carpet, then maybe the shampoo had a bit of bleach in.
No, because in some parts you can actually see a little bit of overspray.
Okay.
Yeah, which is, my wife said, oh, great, that's going to be great. How are you going to sell that car now?
There you go. Well, listen, thank you so much, Tom. I mean, I want to see if there's any last few questions, but we're kind of like 10 minutes over. But thank you for your time. We could keep doing this forever, I think. But
I know
it's one of those things, I guess. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with anyone while you're here?
I guess the main thing is join a Porsche club. I cannot tell you how fun it is to go on events with these people. They're, at least in my club, no one's pretentious. I mean, you'll have a guy with a 914, believe it or not, that's probably worth $5,000. And then you'll have another guy with a GT3 that's brand new, worth what are those, 200 and something or other, and everything in between. And you don't get a sense of elitism or anything like that. And my wife said the same thing. It's like, these people are really, really nice. Really, really nice people. So I love the Porsche Club, and that is the biggest reason why I don't think I could, when I saw those Corvettes, those new Corvettes, oh man, so, but I won't do it. Even though my neighbor owns a Chevrolet dealership, and
really?
Yeah, he doesn't, he's like, when I bought my Porsche, he said, well, the Corvette will really outdo that on the track, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's just,
Yeah.
I can't do
Chevy.
Chevy.
I think at the end of the day, we need to respect each other's decisions. So, we buy the best Porsche, the best Cayman is the one that you can afford, and we've all got different budgets, different lifestyles. So I think we should just respect and be happy for the Caymans that everyone here owns. And just because I have one and you have one, it doesn't mean that our decisions are right for other people out there. I think, we just need to learn to respect each other's decisions and, enjoy life in cars to the max.
But and my kids will tell but my favorite saying is "in my correct opinion." So
okay. There you go.
In my correct opinion. No, Max, that's one thing. That's why I love your channel, and I've talked to Max offline, and one of the best things about Max's channel is that he's not pretentious. He's so real, and he's a good guy. And I'm not saying most people on YouTube are pretty good people, but Max just has that certain sincerity about him that I really love. So I'm hoping your channel gets to be, you need to have 50,000 subscribers.
This is not a big numbers game, though. I think realistically, this is never going to be really a big channel. We're just a bunch of blokes having fun. But my main mission right now is to get Pinky Lai on a live stream because I so want to get him here.
That'd be great.
So I think well said. So I think Stephen's basically said well said, but I think he said to me. I don't know if he's saying that to me or you. Anyway, thank you very much, Tom, for sharing your time with us today. We're a little bit overrun on the timing. Thanks so much for everyone that's out there. We've got Nate. Nate's I think watching on the channel somewhere around here. Nate is on the live stream next week. He has got a 987 as well. There's a whole run of 987 owners that have come out. So to those of you that were saying, why am I focusing so much on the GT4s earlier in the year? At the moment, it seems to be nothing but 987. So there we go. Thank you very much, Tom, for sharing your time. Thanks to all of you people on the comment stream for watching live. And Andy, he won the anagram of the day, which was the one over here. And that was literally Boxer Engine. We'll have another anagram of the day next week. And There's your 1/16th. Is that 1/16th replica or something?
I don't know, but it's really look at that. No body roll. Look at that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but the suspension's going to be too hard for you, isn't it? We could go on forever. So I'm going to click the button now to wrap this up. Thank you all for joining us here, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Enjoying life in cars to the max. See ya.